So hello everybody again. Today we'll speak about fan engagement with sports data and how can different sports organizations can use sports data and statistics to enhance the entertainment of their fans. As Kuba already mentioned, we have briefly touched this subject during our STATSCORE Day event that we had in March, but we decided that that perhaps it would be a good idea to speak a little bit more about it. Therefore, we decided to invite you today for this another STATSCORE webinar. My name is Radosław Firlej. I work as a business development manager in STATSCORE. I'm speaking to you today from Poland, from Warsaw. In the past, I have worked in football. I have worked in Legia Warsaw Football Club, a major football club in Poland. I was responsible there for, in different periods of time, for things like preparing content for the official website of the club, and later for evaluation of club's policy regarding different statistical tools that were later utilized by the coaching staff of the first team. And I mean, it gives me a good background, and it also gave me some experience that I will refer to during the course of this presentation. This is the basic structure of our today's meeting. I won't make it very long, but I will try to present you the different and the most important notions of the subject in a very compact manner. So we will today discuss why sports data are so important in fan engagement, especially nowadays, and how can sports organization use statistics and sports data in their fan engagement efforts. I will support everything with some examples of good practices that we see around us, and the most important thing, in my opinion, or one of the more important things, in my opinion, is also the question of the costs of data-based content. Because when speaking to some decision makers in sports world, in sports industry, I have the impression that for a lot of them, data-based content seems to be an expensive one. But today I will try to explain why I don't think so, and why perhaps this approach can be changed in the matter of time. So the first thing, why are we talking about it today? Those are three factors that create an environment of making sports statistics much more important in fan engagement efforts in comparison to the past. We can all agree that due to the pandemic, supporters are currently not able to watch live sports. Maybe it will now change, hopefully. But also we can agree that the crowds on the stands will not be that numerous like it was in the past, and majority of fans will rather stay at home to watch sport events on the TV. I mean, it may be the case that the access to the stands will be limited, but it may be also be a part of their own decision about their own safety. But we can agree that the tendency will be like this. The other part is multi-screening. So watching TV. Watching sport events with help of different electronic devices, like watching a sport event from the TV, but also having good time with your mobile phone in the hand and looking for some interesting tweets or interesting statistics. So the final notion is that this whole those two factors create environment, create a different match experience and sports statistics were always vital part of this match report that we can experience right now, and this tendency will be even stronger right now. But in general, why do supporters need statistics and sports data? I like to think about statistics as facts. This is not something that we can discuss as somebody's opinion. Those are just facts that, if they are well prepared, put in the right context and well presented, they can tell you more about a certain match event than somebody's opinion. And what is even more important, you don't need to have this expert professional knowledge to understand and to judge who performed better in a certain match. We can agree who which performance gave better impression, but we cannot agree who created more dangerous chances in front of the goal when speaking about football. So the conclusion is that the proper use of statistics creates a different level of discussion about the discipline. It opens up the discipline to a new groups of fans that doesn't have professional knowledge or some professional experience in coaching or in playing in a certain discipline. I don't want to make the impression that there is a kind of conflict between experts, like TV experts, former players, and fans in type of statistical geeks. Because nowadays, even those TV experts who are former players, they also use statistics. And statistics are widely used in TV broadcasts right now. So this is this kind of impression is not my intention. Fans are very interesting group because we can now see that some enterprises that were created by fans, they can now gather a lot of attention. And also create solutions to the business industry. Here you can football is a good example. Here you can see a number of followers of some very well known Twitter accounts of well known football competitions. But also there is of course a website like Transfermarkt, which was created by people who had this statistical drive towards discipline, and now they created a source of information that is very often related to. As a matter of good practices, I would like to mention some of our partners, official STATSCORE partners, because it's very interesting how together we created some very good statistical feed that really meets all those expectations that I have just mentioned. The first thing is STATSCORE Futsal Ekstraklasa. It was a discipline with rather moderate popularity in Poland, even if we speak about all those sub-disciplines in football. But some time ago, management of this league decided to completely rebrand the competition, and sports data were supposed to act as a basis to this whole rebranding process. We, as their partner, we helped them to create a good statistical content to their supporters by providing them our mini sites like League Center and Team Center, and also as part of our partnership, their TV broadcaster gain access to a very well prepared data feed. Now we act as their naming partner, and we hope that this cooperation will long for a very long time, because we are very happy to support in their efforts of rebranding and create very good competition with a very good statistical content. What we also are doing with the help of to help some sports organizations are, for instance, infographics. What you see here is like pictures that collect all the statistical information that were earlier collected by our scouts during the course of the season. So it's like a pre-match information that we generate to the clubs, and clubs are able to use this information as part of their social media content. You can now see screens from 2 different clubs that are publishing those infographics that were presented earlier. Other thing is are mini sites, and STATSCORE League Center is a very good example of a mini site for everybody who wants to have like whole information gathered in one place. This is something that you can see on the official website of Fortuna First League, and basically it's a center of information about the whole season, about each team, each player, and so on and so on. This is like a screen from the league center from the handball competition in Poland. They are also our partner, and I just want you to see how detailed our statistics can be, and how can they entertain supporters of each discipline in a very interactive manner. This is also an example of some statistical observations of our scouts that was later processed by our platform and presented to the handball fans in Poland in such a way. Yeah, so this important question: who can afford statistical tools? I believe that nowadays statistical tools are affordable to basically everyone, because there are so many providers that meet different requirements, that basically every organization who wants to utilize statistics and sports data can use the help of some provider or producer of some devices. Also, what is more important, it is my observation. It is my observation that this market met some kind of a technological barrier. It's very hard to invent a camera that would be more precise, or any other, for instance, portable device that would be more precise, or gather more detailed information about the player. The competition between those producers, providers, is very customer oriented. They compete between each other in terms of layout, user-friendly interface, or price of the solution. And they often and I really speak from my own experience, they often offer a really attractive discounts. So basically, if you have time, if you have will to use sports statistics in your organization as part of your fan engagement efforts, you can. It's just a matter of your effort when you find a good partner for this. Also, it's very interesting, because when observing how sports data are used in different organizations. Now I'm speaking in majority about clubs. First people to use statistical tools are people from coaching staffs, and I would suggest to try to negotiate with them to share this knowledge, share this information that they collect from these tools, from this cooperation with statistical provider. I understand that they may defend themselves with some confidentiality of this information, but please understand that this approach has some limits, and basically, if an organization affords to use some statistical tool, this information should be accessible also to other departments of the organization, including departments that are responsible for fun engagement efforts. I also very strongly encourage you to take a look at our offer for professional leagues, for sports organizations and other, because all those features that I have presented here, all those features relating to our cooperation with different sports leagues and sports organizations, were offered to them for free of any charge. We are ready to invest a lot of time and put a lot of effort in development of the statistical content of many sports organizations and professional leagues, just to lift their content to next level and perhaps monetize it in the past. So feel free to contact us. We are here to help you and to talk about how we can use your statistics for any purpose. I would just give me a second to take a look if there is any question. I see one. There is a chat window. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to put them there. So there's a very interesting question about best postgraduate studies in order to be a sport analyst. Maybe this question does not relate to the subject of this presentation, but it's very interesting, and I will try to answer it. And maybe some of you will decide to type other question. I strongly encourage you to do this. So I don't think that I have seen any advertisement, or that I have heard about any postgraduate studies that would prepare anybody to act as a professional sport analyst. I mean, when working with different sports analysts, I see those people that they had different experiences. Some of them had coaching experience. Some of them they were like they educated themselves and they relied on their experience. But it didn't mean that they were bad analysts. A person who asked it says that he has a diploma in computer engineering and informatics, and knowledge about extraction from sports data. It's extremely interesting, and I believe that if this person could support this knowledge with some coaching diploma, it would be great, and it would be very beneficial to him. So I hope that I have managed to answer this question more or less. I don't see any other questions, unfortunately. So thank you very much for your attention. It was my pleasure to tell you about how we work with sports statistics in terms of how they can be utilized in sports organizations and professional leagues. I also remind you that you will receive a letter from us with invitation to individual workshops of how can you use sports statistics in your own efforts, in your own professional activities. So thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you will stay tuned for information about another STATSCORE webinars on STATSCORE events, or our participation in other events that are organized by somebody else, because we also participate in events worldwide. So thank you very much for your attention, and have a nice rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for participating in our today's webinar. Thank you, Radosław, for presenting it. As Radosław said, you should expect that latest tomorrow you will receive an email with the details of the presentation, with your invitation to a discussion and workshop, and also with the link to the full recording of the presentation. So if you wish to share it with anyone, or rewatch it, or come back to any point that was raised, you will have a last chance. If you don't have any questions right now, please bear in mind that when you receive the email, you can always write us back and ask the questions. We are happy to answer, guide you, help, or just help you in answering your problems, challenges. So please stay in touch. Please follow our newsletter and our blog to find out more about the next upcoming webinars. And have a nice rest of the day. So thank you very much all. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.